don't disagree with you.
When's the last time you talked to Gina?
On Twitter, yesterday.
What about
Person, 10 fights ago. I don't know. The last UFC fight she was at. Gina's a movie star, man. Gina's out making movies. She's, I actually liked that she made it and she went on and she's doing movies and she's doing good things. I like that. I like to see that happen. If Gina came back and said she wanted to fight again, we'd take her back.
Would you pursue that now?
I'm not going to pursue her. No, she's got her thing, man. I'm happy for her. Good for her.
Has she told you that she's thought about it? With the
She hasn't told me, but I've heard that she said that she would be interested in coming back, and I'm not going to push her. I like her being a movie star. That's pretty cool. But if she wants to come back, I wouldn't say no to her either.
Do you think that would be the biggest women's fight ever for Mrs. Ronda?
Yeah, probably be a big fight. Yeah, that'd be a big one.
Would you give her an immediate title shot?
I don't know. She's been out for a while. I don't know if she would want an immediate title shot. You take that long off, you want to come back and get a fight.
Or make 135.
Yeah.
She couldn't make 145.
Why not?
130.
No?
No, she was missing 45.
This ain't gonna happen.
If Jones beats someone in April, would you focus on trying to make Jones Silva, or are you going to try to focus on setting up Leota or Jones?
It's a good question, my friend. I don't know.
You've got another fight coming for Sweden. They've been wondering over there if you've got a new co-main coming or if it's.
Dude, this is all I've been. Dude, I'm telling you, I worked my ass off this week. I've been going since 5:45 every day. This week was brutal, man. This was one of the craziest weeks in the history of this company. It was crazy.
You talked about it being the highest women's pay-per-view of all time, but how about just in terms of UFC? Where does it rank against other UFC events? Is it average, above
It
average?
did very well, man. Again, these are all trending numbers, looking good. Yeah, we knew Friday. No, what was the press conference? Thursday. We knew Thursday that this thing was bigger than anything any woman had ever done before.
Right.
We knew that Thursday.
But you're on a little bit different scale than 125,000 pay-per-views. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So
So
where
you're
does
saying
it?
it's a little unfair?
I think it's an unfair comparison because you guys are beyond that. So where would you put it up against?
I'll tell you this. Dave Meltzer's here. Knows this. We've had a couple of fights that have done some, scary numbers
Right.
for us. You know what I mean? And everybody talked all this shit out. This thing wasn't going to deliver and wasn't going to do anything. So I think it's fair to say that these women did do it. You know what I mean?
Dana, what do you think of the Brendan Schaub fight?
The Brendan Schaub? No. That's why we put 100 guys on the card. Not every fight's going to be, That's not the fight I expected. Not the fight I expected. But Schaub's been knocked out a couple times, too, and he's in there with a big puncher. He ain't going to run in there with his chin out.
What happens to LeVar now?
I don't know.
Dana, you mentioned the other day with Rogan that you guys are getting closer to New York with the legislation. Can't speak right now. Anyways, my question is there any sort of time frame, like a month that you guys have in mind where this might happen?
We do. Yeah.
Could you?
Yeah, we're feeling pretty good about New York. Really good.
Third quarter, fourth quarter?
I just don't want to talk about it. Talking about it doesn't bring any,
Right.
But
I'm just feeling really good about it.
Because
Are you working for legislation though first, or you're going to go in without legislation?
It's tricky. I don't want to answer any of these questions. It's not worth it. Let's not fuck this thing up. You know what I mean? Let's just let this thing happen. Let the lawyers deal with this. I'll end up saying some shit that'll piss somebody off, and yeah, exactly. We'll have to wait another fucking year if I say something stupid here. Let's just not even answer this question.
Dana, is there any question at all that Ronda would be a main eventer next time out as well?
She's the champion, man. Yeah,
You'll just give her main event.
she's the champion. But it depends on if we have 2 title fights. Obviously, no matter what title fight we have, she's going to be light. So she'd be the co-main event. But if we did one,
Obviously, if GSP has a fight, he's a main event. Is she
Yeah.
at that strategy
exactly.
already?
Yeah. Oops, I'm sorry. She would be the co-main event. Yeah, if there's another title.
David, did you read the New York Times story about the executive war in MMA?
I cruised through it. I didn't really read it. I think it was very Viacom friendly. What'd you think of it?
Honestly, I thought it wasn't a good article. I didn't like the way it ended. I thought it ended sort of abruptly. I thought there was some interesting points, but I thought the New York Times I kind of expected something more
Yeah.
in depth.
Yeah.
I understand.
It was a puff piece on Viacom.
I don't think it was slanted in any way. I was expecting more.
I did.
Maybe I had high expectations.
I did. If you knew all the interviews that were really done for that thing and people they talked to and stuff, it was very Viacom heavy. But whatever.
Was the number that they used as far as the Viacom page for golfers that you heard?
I have no clue if that's true or not. If that is true, holy shit, that's crazy. Yeah. But the thing you have to understand is there were a bunch of people. There were a lot of investors in that company. A lot of investors. A lot of guys invested a lot of money into that, and they all got paid back.
Aside from having fights for just the other two women that are fighting in the next go-around with Misha Tate and Kat Zingano, you talk about building that weight class up in star power. What do you do outside of just having women win to build these fighters' brands? You had great prime times leading up to this fight. What do you do for them, if anything special?
Yeah, well, the prime time are for select fights, you know what I mean? We only get so many a year. We only have so many a year that we can do if we want to get the right distribution for it. And that show is fucking expensive, really expensive. So we do countdown shows, you know. We do a pretty good job getting out there and letting people know who the fighters are. When we put together a good piece on somebody, the biggest, most important part is that they go out and deliver on their fights. You know what I mean? And what was cool is, I think, hands down, this one was one of the best prime times ever done. Top two, you know? Because I really love BJ and St. Pierre, too. That one that we did on BJ and St. Pierre. And then when you go out and deliver that the way that they did, like the world was watching tonight. Fucking Sports Center kept tweeting this thing all night. They got like 7 million followers. They've never tweeted anything about the UFC, ever. You know? So tonight was a big night.
Do you think some of this, as far as brand building, I mean, even, you know, just forget about this show, that the UFC brand was built, and, you know, or, you know, I mean, you're strong already, but that maybe it helped you in some circles, you know, just having this fight and having this kind of exposure in different places.
I do, I really do. And the thing that was really shocking to me was the hardcore fans. Their response to it was disgusting, number one. Number two, the fans, I mean, the media's response to it was awesome. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect the mainstream. There wasn't one bad story. No freak show. No, you know what I mean? And these prominent media sources, the front page of the LA Times, the front page, USA Today, CNN on their website, the front page yesterday, HBO Sports, you know, all these different outlets that would never cover us before or would never give us that type of placement. It was awesome, man. It was a really cool moment for me to see the way that the media handled this fight. And I always felt like, you know, Ronda, because of her, you know, where she came from and who she is, it really was cool, and the media agrees, and they covered it. I just loved it, man. I can't tell you how much I really respected the way the media covered this fight. Really cool.
We didn't see Stitch and House again tonight. And last week you kind of just said they were babies and all that, but we thought maybe they'd be back tonight.
You know what I don't like? I told you guys the other night. Yeah, I guess they're not putting in the 18. That's just bullshit, man. Bullshit. I don't like it. Everybody who works here is the 18. You know, there's a lot of cut men out there that are great cut men. Those guys are friends of mine that I've known for years, since the boxing days. I brought them in, and you know, they lost their minds a little bit. You know, you don't do that stuff.
You're severing ties with them at this point?
No, we're not severing ties. Just it's disrespectful to all the other people that work here. It's great you think you're the best. You think you're the 18. You know? I told them, I don't even know what the fuck that means. It means people in trouble, they call you guys. You guys were military guys, and you come in and you protect, you know? What the fuck does the 18 mean? I don't like it, and, you know? You got a lot of people that work here, and a lot of people that do a lot of good things. Nobody runs around here calling themselves the 18. You know?
Dana, did you clear the air with Diaz's lawyer?
What's that?
Did you have a conversation with Diaz's lawyer about the whole...
Yeah.
So are you on the same page now?
Yeah. I think so. How did you know we talked?
He told me.
Yeah. What did he say?
He said, I spoke to Dana.
What did he say? I
He
said.
said, stop instigating. And he said, you cleared the air and you were receptive to it.
He said that I said what?
And he told me to stop.
Instigating?
Yeah, so he
Okay.
said you were receptive to what he had to say.
I was receptive?
Yeah. That is not a direct quote, but he was happy with the conversation.
Cool. I'm happy he was happy with that conversation.
Are you not happy with it?
Yeah. And I'm even happier that he was happy with that conversation.
What was the conversation?
Why do you care? You're an instigator. What do you think that conversation was like? How long have you known me?
Who reached out to who?